Hallo miteinander, I'm Gesh86 and this is Double Focus. Last time, Byakuren forgave us when it should have been us forgiving Byakuren. We also started exploring a most hot and dry place. What dangers does it have in store for us? To the right is a chamber subject to a probably meaningless rumbling, containing an unprotected portal book. Oh my, that rumbling meant something after all. That sand monster fairy did a ton of damage, pushing Aya's health into the red. It was reason enough to use our first cure book so far. About our health briefly turning red, there's some nuance to the health system of this game that you would not expect. Damage you take as Aya shrinks the health bar from the left, get hit as Momiji, and it will from the right. You die when there's no health bar left anymore, yet the moment it drops under the center from one side, the Tengu that got so injured will be especially vulnerable and take double damage. There's that rumbling again. The sand monster fairy is located where the earthquake grows most intense. We had to learn that the hard way. As I was saying, the health system is interesting. It encourages you to use the character who is in better shape, and while it is risky to stay as the other when their side is critical, it's much less restrictive than, for example, having that character incapacitated. After all, we need the abilities of both protagonists for our exploration. Getting rid of the carpet riders and having a relaxing platform ride awards us another Book of Souls. From the looks of it, our health bar has about half of the maximum possible length. One day, it may extend all the way over the silver background to the character portraits. The next room will be a bit of a tease again. All of its pleasant pickups are blocked behind another low tunnel. Hopefully we'll get the corresponding ability rather sooner than later. That just then was an antlion fairy, strong contender for the wimpiest, most unnecessary enemy in Double Focus. Oh, this is a treacherous gauntlet. A sand monster fairy is placed between each pair of cacti. Pinpoint jumping is required. We would have died there if one of them caught us at this point. Surviving allows us to meet the first new friendly face of this episode, belonging to the earth spider Yamame Kurodani. She was blending in so nicely with the antlion fairies before we beat them up. Anyway, Yamame seems to be a hobbyist confectionaire in both this game and Genso Wanderer. I don't know why AquaStyle is pushing that idea. I've honestly never heard of it in the fandom. Maybe that's some joke about spiders I don't get. Muffet from Undertale also had a pastry shop, a spider bake sale. Yamame's great enthusiasm for candy making has to do with the quest we are about to get. After some more fluff, there's a mention of Kisume. When Momiji foolishly shares that we've met Kisume, Yamame is provoked into assigning us an errand. Aya is not happy about that. It's not actually too annoying of a quest. What's special about it is that it's timed. We have 1 minute to deliver the candy. I love how Yamame persuades Aya by appealing to her arrogance. Of course the fastest Tengu can make it in time. There's a secret room just under Yamame. Right now, its only use is convenience, but at some point, an NPC will reside there. The timer for the side quest is displayed in the top right. How harsh is it? Well, if you've saved at least one portal book, the time limit is practically moot. We're so relaxed, we'll even grab a hidden cure book plus. A very simple secret, that one. Whatever you do, don't let the timer pressure you into setting your warp at a spot you aren't happy with. Right here is a secure, centralized one. Back at base camp, we deliver the item with time to spare. What food would go bad in a minute? Could you watch the mold spreading on that candy? Those clips of fruit baskets shriveling up and mummifying are sped up to like 10,000 times or so. That's not how it really goes. Next up, we need to go back to Yamame once more to claim our reward. That's what technically makes it a fetch quest, not just a delivery quest. The warp we just put down is convenient enough to reach our spider friend, and will also allow us to pick up one more treasure on the way. Ascending the platforms and going left will lead us to a seemingly empty room. We are smart enough to know that no room is utterly pointless in a game like this, so we find a golden casket. A look on the item screen won't tell us directly what it's used for. However, it's found right next to the gaudy vase, and I think that's the only hint we need. Backtracking to Yamame means taking on the Sand Monster Fairy Gauntlet again. They really are just fairies wearing a large costume, like the clumsy, oversized mascot of a sports team. I think they can be defeated with enough hits, but you would have to bait them multiple times for this, so why bother? And we're at Yamame's again. Completing her candy delivery side quest awards us a long-lasting candy that can satisfy any and all gluttons. If you think this is meant for Miyako, you are good at logic, but unfortunately wrong. The candy will solve a quest we haven't even received yet, and it will the moment we do. Maybe it will be given to Yuyuko. She is, after all, Gensokyo's comical eating machine. Byakuren will gladly destroy Sphinx statues in Desert Area's tomb for us. Not much of a puzzle. We've learned to do that at the entrance last episode. The just acquired enhancement is one of those skills I don't get much use out of. Potentially good without a doubt, your stamina regeneration will only really rise when you're at poor health. When that's the case, I'd rather use a cure book than have it stay like that and benefit from the effect. We'll use enhancement for now, but it won't stay in our skill set for too long. Right here is an item that our heroes will discuss before picking it up. This stone slate is necessary for getting to the next boss, but we need someone with vast knowledge to translate it for us. My first idea was Patchouli. Knowledge is already her last name, but that is being too smart. Double Focus doesn't assume you're that smart. The person you actually have to go to is Kozusu, by all means also a lady of intellect. We'll return to her once we've collected everything from the desert's underground. Sorry for checking out this sand pit twice, forgot we had everything from it. The room to the right of our portal has a trap for the greedy. Sand monster fairies are on the ground, and since you can't jump over them, Aya's dash is the only solution. Another sphinx to tear down. We have to reset the room if we don't want to deal with the two lovebirds on the carpet. Under the sinks is a room that really doesn't help us right now, yet should be remembered. Apart from the Book of Souls, an NPC will appear down there at a later point of our adventure. The fairies in the large lamps have a design peculiarly similar to the Robin Williams genie. With top knot and waist sash, it can't be a coincidence. If they weren't a relatively easy foe, I'd say you ain't never had an enemy like them. This room may seem like a trap with no escape, but there is in fact a hidden path to an adjacent chamber. It's super clever actually, as there was also a portal book in it. An impatient player would think that the portal or committing suicide on the cacti are their only options. Again, the inquisitive get rewarded. The same goes for this corridor with the falling rocks. A shallow look will make you think it marks the end of the tomb, but nope, there's more. I've got to warn you about this guillotine. A beheading will kill you instantly. I've tested it with my clear file. All the health in the world won't save you from it. Also, don't forget to take a picture of the guillotine. I did not the first time I ever saw it, thinking of it more as a lifeless hazard, but everything that's accompanied by a fairy belongs in the Snap archive. At the very end of these passages, we obtain the ground strike. This is a very valuable Momiji-only attack that you wouldn't think of as overpowered or actually powerful, yet it remedies our brave swordwoman's greatest weakness. Let's give it a quick test. Okay, doesn't look too amazing, but that wasn't its ideal use anyway. Let's search for a live target to experiment on while we're making our way back to our portal. We're going to simply block the falling rocks, just like with the chandeliers of the castle. This is the safest and most comfortable way to handle them. We've got a spear fighter to try out ground strike against, and as you can see, it gives Momiji tremendous range, although it is not too strong. Genie fairies will sometimes hide in their lamps for some attacks, which also reduces the damage they take. With the way we usually approach them, from range, they are very unlikely to defend, so it might never make it into the Let's Play. Here's our ticket back to base. We have 2 items to deliver there before we end today's episode. The first is a most morbid new home for Kisume. It's arguably a way worse shelter than the gaudy vase, even though she looks adorable in that sarcophagus. Why is it so bad? Because it's cursed! Nevertheless, we are given the Momiji-only passive, Wild Instinct. This is a really good one. A last-moment block will refill all lost stamina, which is useful thanks to the game's not always excellent programming. Some attacks will damage you multiple times, and these additional hits will be falsely recognized as just-in-time blocks. It's cursed, Tutankhamun. Kisume's general scarcity of words is too amusing. Finally, we're handing over the stone slate. In a few moments, Kozusu will write down a magic spell for us that we'll use on the giant stone foot obstructing the boss door. I'm not yet sure if we'll immediately challenge that boss next episode. There's also a small portion left of the desert we've still not explored. Both of these undertakings would stretch the video a little more than I would like, so we'll leave it here for today. With that, I'm Gesh86, this was Double Focus, and next time we discover a whimsical wonderland and an intangible, teleporting necromancer driven only by desire. Bis bald!